Welcome to month 3 HIT training, high intensity interval training. During the specified time, you want to go as fast or as intense as you can while using the maximum strength capacity to move safely, but also quickly and intensely. So first exercise, or our hub exercise, is going to be step-ups, which means you're always going to come back to step-ups and then alternate between other motions. So it'll be like step up, exercise, step up, exercise, step up, exercise. Coming back to that step up each and every time. Now, if you're holding weight, we're just gonna hold them down in that suitcase position. For step ups, I like to step up with the same foot and step down with that same foot. I tend to prefer alternating, but if that's too much for your brain, you can do a couple reps on one side and then switch and do a couple reps on the other side. Whatever is gonna give you the most ability to move as quick as possible, safely, but also not confuse your brain. So that's gonna be your step-ups. That second exercise that we're gonna rotate into is gonna be a reverse lunge to one leg hop. What I would recommend is if we are doing odd number of rounds, you're gonna switch legs halfway through the time period. Let's say it's a 30-second work period, 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other side. Now, if we are doing an even amount of rounds, let's say we're doing 2 rounds of this whole exercise shenanigans, or 4 rounds, or whatever that looks like, alternate legs each time. That way you can focus in on getting as quick and as much power as you can in that motion. So what it's gonna look like is you're gonna reverse lunge back and then pop up on that front leg, pushing off the ground. If that jump doesn't work for you, you're gonna create a reverse lunge to a reach and a crunch, going again nice and quickly, okay? Odd number of rounds, switch halfway through that work period. Even rounds, switch legs each time you get to this exercise. The third exercise that we're gonna rotate amongst is a modified burpee or a true burpee. You can do this from the ground as so, or you can do a modified version, actually using something like a step, the first step in your staircase, a bench. Remember, with those step-ups again, you can use the first step of your staircase, okay? Or some sort of furniture that's nice and stable. Same thing with this burpee. So modifications would be to reach instead of jump. Plant those hands, step each foot back to a plank, step each foot forward, and repeat. You can do a full burpee with the modification of taking you off the ground. Up, plant, jump, and jump, okay? So there's a lot of different variations that you can use for the burpee. Do the one that is gonna be safest for you and also allow you to move nice and quickly. The next exercise that we'll rotate through is a kettlebell swing. You're gonna start with that kettlebell just in front of your body. Feet are slightly wider than hip. Now you're gonna reach for that kettlebell by pushing your hips back, not bending your back like so. The kettlebell motion is forward and back with those hips. So pushing forward and back is what creates some momentum for that swing. When you start, that kettlebell is gonna tap your butt, and then we're pushing those hips forward, keeping a nice soft bend in those elbows for your kettlebell swing. Again, it's all in the hips, not in your back. Okay, really pushing forward and back with those hips. The next exercise that we're gonna rotate in is going to be jump rope. If you have a physical jump rope, awesome. If you don't have a physical jump rope, even better, you get to do it in place. So however you want to approach this one, if you do have an actual jump rope, we're just gonna create a nice jump, going as fast as you can for that duration of time. Otherwise, you're just gonna create a nice jumping in place, pretending like you have that jump rope. So that's gonna be your HIT training. Again, in the specified time, moving as fast, as safely as you can, or as intensely as you can during that work period. You'll get a little rest, go back to that hub exercise in between each add-on, and then we'll do that for a certain amount of rounds.